YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome to Attila, or Total War Attila. I always want to say that first because the old ones were called like Rome Total War and stuff. So anyway, Total War Attila. And I'm going to be doing a Sassanid campaign first. I'm going to stick to one campaign at a time for now so that it doesn't get too dicey or hard for me to keep up with or hard for you to keep up with. That doesn't mean I'll always do one campaign at a time. I could potentially do more, but I want to make sure these get finished. I want to make sure they're fun. And I'm going to set some boundaries on them from the beginning so that we know what our finish looks like. And of course, if we get to that finish and you're like, more, then you know we can consider it at that time. So, but it'll give us an opportunity to see more campaigns that way and for me to actually feel like I've finished them for you, which I finished most of the campaigns at the end on Rome 2. Never got through Iceni, Parthia, or Pergamon, unfortunately. But we did get several campaigns finished. And so anyway, I'm going to play this. It is my first campaign. The initial challenge for the Sassanids is easy, so this is a good learner campaign, and that's why I'm going to do this one first, on top of the fact that I really like the Sassanids. They're one of my favorite factions in the game. So this is not going to be like a super duper challenging campaign for me, I don't think, just because the initial challenge is easy. I'm going to put it on hard difficulty. We may move it up to very hard later, and I'm going to keep the battle difficulty on normal like I was doing on Rome 2. Because I don't see any point in this campaign in fighting with ridiculous buffs for the enemy. Later on, when we get more used to the game and we're just looking for maybe a seriously challenging campaign, then we'll turn it all up and just leave it all up. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully this will make it as entertaining as possible to you also, so not just ridiculous enemy units easily cutting through my men and having to tediously fight every battle. So yeah, hopefully you all like that. The advisor help, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it on for now and just shut them up because I'm still learning the game. Sometimes it's a good idea to leave them on. I haven't seen the AI glitch out where we had to wait, but I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a 40-minute battle limit just in case, but I have not seen the AI do that yet. The CJI is not perfect, nor is the naval landings and all that kind of stuff, but it has performed much better in Attila. You can tell that they took some of the knowledge from Emperor Edition, and then I think they actually improved it a little bit. Now, that's not to say that the AI doesn't have its derpy moments. It absolutely does. It's the AI. It always has, and I'm not sure that we'll ever have it to where it doesn't. And if we did, would you really be happy having an AI on the other side that completely react to you every time and smash you? Eventually that would get old too, but anyway, it's an improvement. Here's the video.
The air was filled with smoke and blood. What the Romans stole, the East reclaimed with vengeance. As Emperor Valerian discovered when his love of wealth was rewarded with molten gold. Rome was the city of lies. They insulted the desert, but never conquered eastern lands, for they were weak and divided. Arrogance was punished. And behold, a red horse, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. The men of the East forged their spears in the fires of truth, and purged the world of darkness. It was their duty. They made ready for war.
Pretty sweet intro, actually, I thought. So tell me what you all think of the intro. Now we're going to hit the campaign map.
Your dominion over the East is strong. Ardashia's great legacy is at last secure. Now, you must look to expand the empire westward. Rome is divided and surrounded by enemies. There may never be a better time to reassert the natural order of Persian rule throughout Asia Minor and the Levant. Support for the Eastern Roman Empire and its religion is strong, so a steady approach may be wiser than a brute offensive. Keep eyes on the north, for the inexorable Huns and their allies are on the move, thirsty for plunder and the blood of civilized men. Ultimately, you must bring just and wise rule to the world, laying the foundations of a Sassanid empire that will last until the end of time.
All right, sweet stuff. So, the first objective they give me is to survive until the spring of 400, which I'm sure we can achieve that. Let's go ahead and adjust our settings real quick. So let's go in here to options and game settings. So I've got all the game settings the way we want. We can turn on alliance coloring to maybe make it easier to distinguish between units. The marker scale is on small. I'll turn it up a little bit so y'all can see it. Show unit markers always, tooltips, campaign advice, battle advice. Got all that stuff done there. So let's leave that as it is, and then let's go to campaign settings. We'll swing, let's see, very hard. That should just be hard, and we'll swing it back to normal here. Alright, so the battle AI is on normal, so I do that again for unit balancing purposes because the units are balanced to normal. And I'm not here to try and show off to you that I can beat campaigns on crazy hard, but I do take them on from time to time, like I did the very hard Macedon campaign in Rome 2. And so yeah, I will take them on from time to time, but trying to keep things varied and keep it interesting. Let's take a look at our starting position as Sassanids. We have quite a bit of land here throughout this part of Central Asia, I guess. I don't know what this particular area is called. Middle East probably would be a better name for it. So yeah, and our most productive land, if we take a look from a fertility standpoint, is going to be right here where the Tigris and the Euphrates run through. So we need to focus our farming efforts here. We can focus maybe money efforts, like maybe agriculture that earns us more money. We have gold here as far as that goes. We've got some, it looks like maybe we've got some stone or iron here. I'm going to have to see exactly what that is. So if we, yeah, never mind. We got the resource turned on. We're good. So, but if we look nearby to other resources, there's iron here that we're definitely going to need. This must be stone. What do we got here? Spices. So that's also going to be worthwhile. So we got spices. These guys over here have salt, I think. And not sure what these guys have there. I'm not familiar with all of these, but anyway, so it kind of gives us an idea of what we need to go after. What do they got up here? Interesting. So you can see all the different trade resources, which makes you know what you're going to want to go after. So that'll be interesting. We have a ton of puppet states. So if we go to faction ownership or diplomatic status, we've got all these allies here in the form of puppet states. So pretty much all of the East starts as our puppet states. The Sassanids are allied with the East Romans, so we're going to have to be careful of them. The iron is down here in a settlement, Yathrib, that has been destroyed previously, so it would have to be resettled. And then you can see these settlements up here have been previously destroyed as well, so no factions up here at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of the same. So it looks like actually we've got, let's see, Matt. So we got timber, marble is what that is, and then lead. Lead and iron are going to be good to get a hold of. It'll help with higher level buildings. Silk would also probably be a valuable trade resource. So spices, silk, dyes, all that kind of stuff is probably going to be a good trade resource. Salt is handy as well. So, but again, these are all our puppet states, and as long as we treat them well, they should stick with us. So just because we only have these few provinces doesn't mean that we're not in pretty good shape. Public order standpoint, pretty solid public order to start off with. So we're doing pretty good. Our main concern is going to be the East Roman Empire, but they're going to have a lot of trouble. So I think that we'll have a pretty easy time starting off and getting things in order. We have a very nice income, which is part of the reason why your starting position is easy. So again, remember to use your overview map here. So for fertility, this is going to tell you where to build your farms. So anywhere in the Osruin province or Osoristian or Riston province, Osoristan, yeah, however you pronounce that. I'm not going to be good with these Eastern names, but this is where I'm going to focus my farming efforts for now, because you get bonuses for certain buildings in the region. So again, this is one of the provinces where we want to focus our farming efforts. We've already got a wheat field here, which is going to be giving us a nice return. Basically, we're getting 110 food out of this level 2 wheat field, which is pretty slick. We're going to do the same thing here to kick up some more food. And we've only got one settlement in this province up here that's also very fertile, but we can go ahead and throw a wheat field down in it, and we'll probably want to go ahead and upgrade this building. It's going to give us a little bit stronger garrison as well. You start off with a lot of money, and you might as well go through and use a little bit of it. Let's check some of the buildings that we start with and see if they're appropriate. Cavalry corrals. This fire altar is fine. It does eat up a lot of food, but you do get some boost out of it. There might be buildings that one would consider better, like maybe a sanitation building or something, since I'm probably not worried about other religions really taking over here. But and I'm not completely familiar with how the change in religions affects everything. But let's we've got those 2 wheat fields going. Let's go ahead and drop another structure here, and our public order's good. Oh, is it not going to let me build what I want to here? Well, we'll go ahead and drop this town commons. I was going to build another farm type building, but we can build that here when the time comes, I think, because I like to get as many farm type buildings as I can into the provinces with the high fertility. That's at least the strategy I've taken so far. Whether it's the best strategy remains to be seen. We'll want to upgrade this to get some more public order out of it. Now, in the provinces where, with the Sassanids at least, in the provinces where your fertility isn't as good, like here in Spahan, I think you're better off to build this camel herd, because you still get a nice bunch of food and a little bit of wealth. If you just need more wealth, you can go for like the sheep flock, which will produce a lot more wealth but with less food. And the same thing with the horse breeder, and you get slight bonuses to your horses as you train them. But I'm going to stick with the camel herd here for now. And that's going to be most of the money that we can spend on this turn. Let's take a look at our faction. Just kind of see what's going on here. We probably want to go ahead and get this guy declare heir. I can't actually, he doesn't have enough influence to go out and try and seek a wife yet. I was going to try and do that. So we'll have to build some influence. Right, you start off with very nice dominion, and then pretty decent power with the Sassanids as well. So we control 40% out of the court nobles. These are other, well, these are candidates, I guess. Yeah, so we got these guys here. We probably need to assign some governors, would be my question. So let's take a look at where we can assign governors, and we'll probably want to get this done. Oh, actually, I don't have enough money, so I should have saved some money to do that. We'll assign governors on the next one. And then research-wise, I'm going to go ahead and go for this, because the Armenian spears are a nice unit to get a hold of, and then the Persian bowmen, nice as well. And that also unlocks the infantry quarters. So let's go ahead and do our research here first, and then we'll come down here, and I want to get to the level 3 wheat farm pretty quick as well, because that'll really stabilize our food situation and allow us to really start upgrading our buildings. We're going to end our turn. Again, pretty secure starting point. Not very worried about what other factions are going to do to me. And, you know, I think as long as we treat our puppet states well, they should do well for us. I got to play quite a bit of Sassanid campaign.
I humbly propose this in the hope that you will see the merit of closer ties.
Got a trade route with them. They want a defensive alliance. I don't see why not. Well, I don't know. They could end up dragging me into wars I don't want to be in. I'm gonna decline for now.
I speak
the Lockmids here, or Lockmids, are trying to negotiate for one of my daughters in marriage. 200 is not really enough money. Not for my liking, at least. So let's adjust that. You can give me like 700, maybe. Maybe a little more. Let's try 900. No, I love my daughter enough that you're gonna have to see. These people are offering me 800.
Keep a clear mind and think carefully on what I say.
Is she currently married to someone? Are they trying to get me to like marry her out? Yeah, never mind. I better check that out before I agree to anything. Are they like trying to marry an already married woman? I'm confused. Where is she at? Is this her? Or was it just showing that she was... I think that was her. I could be wrong. That was kind of confusing when I saw that thing that said heir under it, and I'm trying to figure out what it is they're trying to get me to do. But I'm guessing that's her, yeah, because she's 16, so she isn't married to anybody. And let's see, so Bahram here is the faction leader, and this guy is the faction heir for now. Krosauer, however you say his name, I don't know how to say it. And alright, so we've got through our first turn in. We've gotten a nice income back. We've gotten a lot of buildings underway. I want to say, I think Ctesiphon is our capital, if I remember right. Yeah, Ctesiphon's our capital, or provincial capital at least. yeah, it's our overall capital as well. So that's good. Got everything set here. Food-wise, we got that other farm coming through to us, which is good. Let's just make sure. I'm going to go ahead and actually move this army up to Nisibis to try and stabilize it a little, because this province will be fine. So that's going to stabilize Nisibis, and we'll get those buildings finished. Let's see. Got a camel herd coming up here. We have to be careful with our food at first. Not like crazy careful, but again, we can drop some more camel herds in here. That'll definitely boost our food up some. Let's put one here as well. So, and then we'll probably want to upgrade this to the courthouse here as well to try and keep public order in good shape in these provinces. I'll probably do that on the next turn when I have a little money. A little more money, I should say. Let's just go up here. And I am going to be doing a little bit of turtling here at the first, just to kind of strengthen my position and then get ready to go out and smack everybody else down. In my turn, it says I can still assign a provincial governor, so apparently I have enough money for one of them. And provincial governors can obviously provide you with certain benefits. And the way you do it is by coming into your faction button there, and you can click here on the governors, and you can see where I can assign up to 3 governors. I probably only have enough money for 1. And for whatever reason, I can't assign any of my own candidates. Only statesmen may become governors. That's why that guy's a general, and that guy's a general as well. So my guys are all generals, and only statesmen can be governors. So we got these other candidates here. Let's see what these traits are. So agent experience, agent recruitment, relentless attacker. Well, he's not going to be attacking because he's been a governor. Integrity +2, that maybe plays a big role. We'll throw old Jotman here into the role, and let's put him in this province here. That's going to be one of my more productive provinces, or it's actually 775. Do I have enough? Yeah, I have enough money. There he goes. So we got old Jotman up in there, and then I guess we can throw these other guys in. We're going to put one in Persis as well, and that's going to be all we can do for now because we don't have any more money, and it looks like we've already got a character with low loyalty. So yeah, we have to keep an eye on this guy. He's only got 1 out of 10 loyalty. So yeah, we'll see. We'll issue an edict now though, where we have our governors, and let's see, we can get +10 growth and -50% on religious rest. That's not bad. Gives me more Zoroastrian influence, if I'm saying that right. Recruitment cost, not really worried about it there. And then +2 sanitation, and then adds to a research rate. I'm going to stick with this one that gives me +10 growth. I'm thinking that's going to be a very nice one. And again, if you keep hitting end turn, you can just click here. It's very nice how it just directs you to where you can have the take care of the item. So I really like that. So we're going to get added growth so we can fill out our provinces quicker. And now we'll be ready to end the turn. So I'm going to let that end. Okay, the Hemyar still want a defensive alliance. I'm just not feeling that at the moment. They're already at war with Axum, and I don't need to get in and get myself drawn into a bunch of different engagements yet. Yeah, we've already got this guy with wavering loyalty. Looks like, let's see, yeah, so wavering loyalty. Just the one guy with wavering loyalty. And I've got him governing, so I don't know. So this is the one thing I don't understand, and I'm curious. You can't do anything to folks who, like, you can't take any political actions against people who aren't part of your faction, which seems really odd. So, I mean, I got this guy here, his loyalty's low, but I don't have any options to, like, pay him to secure his loyalty or to do anything else. So, am I missing something here? I haven't noticed it yet, the game, and it's been kind of frustrating because you get these guys and they warn you, oh, these guys aren't loyal, but it's like, what can I do about it? I mean, you don't have another option. So it's something that I wish, if anybody understands that, let me know, because right now I don't understand it. Trades, household, spouse, but I mean, it's like I can't affect anything. We can zoom to him, and again, you may be able to add like household items and stuff here, but there's no way for me to take any actions against him. or to do anything to him, really. So if you all understand this, let me know. But I mean, so if some of you have figured it out somehow yet. But yeah, this is also a cool screen. You got your record screen in here in campaign where you can filter out whatever you want. You can go through all the records for your campaign. It's going to be very cool. So like for instance, we can filter out military activity, which we haven't had any yet, of course. But yeah, we should be able to check it out. And you can upload records too, which is going to be really cool. Anyway, I'll show this off as we move through. It should be a lot of fun. So we ended the turn. We've got more money again, so our food supply just massively increased, which is good. That means that my planning with that turned out well. So we're going to want to upgrade some of these troops as well once we finish. Well, I think we did finish our research, so we should be able to recruit Armenian spears, which are considerably better than these pagan band that we have here. These guys are not very good. So we'll go ahead and start replacing some of these troops. Yeah, we can recruit Armenian spears here as well. So I'm going to disband all the pagan band here and go ahead and start replacing them with Armenian spears, which is a stronger unit. We can take these Persian bows, and some of you asked about these tiers. So when I did that research, it unlocked Persian bowmen. So you can take your Persian bows, hit this retrain, and they are now Persian bowmen, which is pretty cool. And that you can see they're a tier 2 type bow infantry, so it's an improvement as you do that. Yep, and let's do the same thing here. Get rid of the pagan band, disband these guys, and we're going to retrain some Armenian spears here. And we'll take these archers and upgrade them as well. Persian cataphracts is what I can recruit right now. I do have some Svaran cataphracts, which are slightly better. And cataphracts in this game, I think you've seen them in a couple of my videos that I've released so far. Very different than what they were in Rome 2. They really don't have any capability in prolonged melee. But on the charge, they are just absolutely deadly, and the Sassanids have cataphracts aplenty, so it's going to be a very nice option for them. I've used up my money doing this stuff. We do need to continue research, so let's get here to where we can get the tier 2 wheat farm, and then I think we have to go clear over here to get the camel farm, which would be helpful as well. Caravan, lodgings. I'm trying to think, there's some other. Magistrate's Palace and the Persian Library could be helpful eventually as well. But there's other things too here where we can Sogdian warriors replace the Persian brigade. That's going to be a good one to get done. And then Svaran cataphracts, you can get them there. And then a pure elite Dalamite infantry is also handy to have. So we'll keep an eye on the research. So again, you can see very safe position for the Sassanids to start in. Personally, I think it's going to be a good learner campaign. They start off with a solid economy. You've got some provinces that have nice fertility, so you can crank your food up. You're not going to have to worry about migrating, and you have a lot of puppet states that can help buffer you from other potential enemies, and they can also kind of play in. So yeah, again, going to continue to deny the Himyar. Just not interested in that at the moment. These people offering me 1,800 talents for my daughter.
Accept or do not accept, but do so honestly.
I think this is probably showing who they're trying to marry her to, actually. So they're trying to marry her to their faction heir. So let's do that. Let's accept the marriage and see what happens. 1,800 talents is a nice little chunk of change for them to hand me. So look at Heir already selling his daughters on the game. So very Patchy-esque of me. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these guys too and crank in the Armenian spears, just so that my armies will be a little more capable. There we go. It'll take a little more upkeep, obviously, to run those guys, but I think it'll be worth it. So we've got the guys retraining. Again, income is easily handled at this point. Let's take a look at our building browser, just see if there's anything else we should do in the meantime. We do have a lot of food, so we can go ahead and upgrade some of these city centers with what little money we have left. This farm here, we can go ahead and pull that up to a camel herd, and that'll give us yet more food in order to try and continue upgrading our city centers. And we can also build some sanitation buildings as the growth kicks in. So there we go. Okay.
I propose.
Not interested in your military alliance. Roxolanians. So, natural causes. Ctesiphon. So, one of my folks died. Don't know why it showed it twice. And it shows the deceased folks here. That was probably her, I think. Yeah, that was her. And then, yeah, so this, see, it actually brings this guy into my faction, so where we did the marriage, so it shows that we married her off to this faction, and here it shows him, that he's the faction heir over there. So that's pretty cool, kind of shows how it ties into the family tree. Definitely enjoying that. None of these candidates are available for office. This guy can fill an office, though. And he should stay loyal, I think, because he married into the family. So let's throw him into this, at least I thought we could throw him into that position. Can we not? No, we can't. I don't know why it was showing that. None of these guys are able to go into that position. Never mind. Well, yeah, this guy can. Let's put him in there. Give him that assignment. Those things light up when you're able to put them in there, so... Alright, let's see, so... Okay, so we got Nispis back under control, we got our units retrained here, so we got a decent little force, nothing super powerful, but, I mean, it's going to be a decent force. As you can see here, these different buildings, what their effects are. You can go for this caravan shelter, which is going to give you more economic boost, but you can go with this one that actually just further stabilizes public order, which is nice because as you start to upgrade farms, it comes in handy. We'll upgrade the village here as well, and we should really start turning some very nice profit over the next few turns as well. Let's go ahead. We can still assign a provincial government or governor. Let's go ahead and assign one here. So we've got 3 governors now, and that means that we can issue an edict here as well, and we will issue a... I don't think there's any that boost public order. There's one that gives a little bit of sanitation. Let's go with the growth. And I think we've got... Oh, no, never mind. This here means that we've put a guy up for a political position, so we'll see whether or not we're successful in that. The other party can oppose you, but again, kind of weird because you can't do much to oppose them, it seems like. The politics have seemed a little weird to me so far. Again, I don't understand it, so I'm not chalking this up to it's a bug until I understand it better, but it's not as clear as I'd hoped it would be from the get-go. But, you know, the politics were never super clear for me in Rome 2 either. So maybe it's just me, I don't know. So see, someone's trying to obstruct by getting this guy into office. So you can see that, I mean, these guys, the opposing factions are able to do a lot to obstruct you. It's very difficult to do anything to them, though. So it says, when one is climbing the greasy pole, there is but one rule: hunt or be hunted. Your candidate has been blocked from office by one of your opponents. So I guess this is the guy we're targeting to put in there, which is interesting because Bahram is my faction leader, and he's blocking an appointment that I made from within the family, and it's just very odd. So it's like one way or the other. I mean, I don't know. See? I don't get it. It's like none of these do me any good. And why is my own internal family opposing? It's just odd to me. Maybe because this guy married into the family? That could be it. I don't know. Like I said, just it's odd for me. So see, I mean, he is part of the family, but I'm... And see, it makes it look like these 2 guys are the sons, so I don't understand why this guy would be opposing him moving into that position. So, see what I mean? It's weird. I just don't understand it yet. Again, if some of you all understand it, I'd love to know more. Because I don't get it at this point. And I'll try my best to understand it as we move forward. Alright, so let's continue to spend our money in upgrading our provinces as we can. So let's see. Ctesiphon. So we've got good public order here, and we've got this building coming online that's going to help it as well. We're getting nice growth in each province too. Let's see. So what do we have here? We can definitely upgrade these villages. We can at least upgrade one of them. Public order here is not very good though, so we should probably upgrade this courthouse first, and then we'll focus on maybe the the city and some sanitation and stuff like that. So, because the public order is not all that great in this province. And see, in Spahan, not quite enough to build the building that I want to, so I'm just going to hold off there. And Osirine, there's really nothing to do here either. Osroene. So we'll go ahead and end. Probably not going to see a whole bunch of battles in this early one. We could go ahead and strike out against the East Romans, though I don't think that that would be super risky, because I doubt the East Romans have a lot of power at the moment. They're going to be facing a lot of problems. So it may be a good time to go ahead and strike early and secure some extra land, especially in the Osirine province, where the fertility is quite good. So my allies have declared wars on each other. So I have two puppet states that are fighting each other. These Afrigids back here are way away, so I'm not really worried about them being able to do anything. So I'm not going to enter the war on their side. I'm going to enter the war on the side of... because they're just a military alliance, and this is actually a puppet state. So I'm going to support my puppet state and enter the war on the side of Armenia. Because I'm less worried about what the Africans will be able to do. So it keeps talking about wavering loyalty. Not really worried about it at the moment. So let's see here. Yeah, you know what? It may not be a bad plan to just go ahead and reach out and destroy some East Romans and capture more of this province that's going to provide us with some nice food. Let's go up here and hit Amida. So if you look at the province, it's going to be Amida and Edessa. Let's go up here and hit Amida. We are going to declare war on the East Romans, and we will call our allies to help. And they're going to call their allies to help as well. The Sassanids are fairly close and may try to attack me. The Romans have no real garrison here, so this ought to be pretty fun. Let's go ahead and enter the battle so I can at least get you a battle in this episode. And we'll go ahead and start pushing. I'm not going to necessarily try and just ramp right through all the Eastern Roman lands right away, but we can go ahead and take some important land away from them that's going to boost our ability to produce food and wealth. And we will be able to help further secure Sassanid dominance of the East here, while pricking away at the East Romans, who are no doubt probably fighting all kinds of Goths and, just potentially a lot of different factions. So a bit of a sandstorm right now. We'll wait. Don't prefer to fight in the sandstorm, but we'll see. And that fog is insane. So it looks like we're stuck with fog. And it is very foggy. So the way towers work in this game are a little different. They are going to be, let's see, I don't think any of my units are raiders, so I can't burn buildings. I can if I have flaming arrows, but so the watchtowers, when you capture them, they just crumble, which is actually kind of a nice feature. That way the enemy can't use your own watchtowers against you, which was kind of odd anyway. So we're gonna get ready to move forward here, though. I'm gonna put my Armenian spears up front. We're gonna keep our cataphracts. I'll put some on each flank to see if we have any openings, and then of course we're gonna try and keep our general very safe. And we've got horse archers that can support. And you'll notice that a lot of the horse archers in the game, some have it, but many do not have Parthian shot. It's going to make them extremely difficult to use, in my mind, because you can't really kite away and do any damage. So let's see what we got here. We're going to have to try and break through the Roman blockade here. At the entrance they got some small walls and watchtower that's creating a choke point here. I actually like the small settlements a little better in this game, and the capture points make more sense as well. So whoever owns this gets a battlefield-wide morale bonus, which is pretty cool. It's not a victory point, but I like how it's battlefield-wide and not just within the circle, which doesn't make any sense because you're only going to get that bonus for just a very short time. The towers are still extremely damaging. The Roman tower hasn't done a ton to me yet, but if you sit around for long, the towers will beat the daylights out of you. So it is very bad to just sit there and eat fire from the towers. You can try and burn the tower, but if I just get my men into the capture area, we can start to try and overwhelm the Romans, so that's what I'm going to do. We'll target the Roman general, though. Fire arrows. No. We don't need any of that. We'll just go standard shot. Try and get a volley off on the Romans. Maybe soften them up a smidge before I hit them. They have a cohorts unit here, which is not particularly good. The enemy general turned his back, the Limitani bodyguards, or however you pronounce that. So we're going to go ahead and attack and try and just push into that capture point so we can take them out. And I'm going to turn off my own bow fire here. And let's see if there is another way into the city. Looking like right here. So let's get these cataphracts, Svarn cataphracts. And let's see if we can spot another way into the city. Not there. Nor anywhere around here, so they've got that pretty well guarded. Let's go ahead and just bring these guys further over here. Alright, let's zoom back in, see how my Armenian spears are doing. It's not actually saying my men are within the capture point, so the tower is going to continue to fire and do a horrendous amount of damage to me. There we go, we finally got into the capture area, but there's more Romans there than there are my men, so that, again, this is going to be challenging. I may go ahead and switch over to Flaming Shot and see if we can start burning the tower to death. And let's bring these guys up and do the same thing. So go Flaming Shot. And we'll just wheel these cataphracts in for a rear charge, though. Because one rear charge from these Svarn cataphracts will severely debilitate the Roman defenses. So there we go. In the process of burning the watchtower. Yep, and here come the Svarn cataphracts. This is going to be absolutely and completely humiliatingly destructive to the Romans. So I am going to attack these Explorataries in the back. These guys are going to get absolutely wrecked by shock cavalry on the charge. Fortunately for them, though, the pathfinding here is going to slow down my charge just a little bit. But we are still going to get a brutal charge into the back of these Roman units. And that is going to kill a lot of Romans. Yeah, you can see racking up 40 kills and routing that unit. Got Scout Equites incoming, though, which is bad. So my cataphracts are going to be in trouble here, actually. But the Scout Equites, let's see if we can just kind of get away from them a little. And try and run another charge as best we can. Nope, our unit's not going to charge well. Let's go ahead and keep pulling back out. The tower almost completely fire damaged, so my Persian archer's getting rid of it. Okay, looks like my guys might be able to get another charge here. And we'll target the Roman infantry. The Scout Equites should be trying to interrupt my cataphracts, but they are not. And I'm not going to get a particularly great charge here. But I am still going to get some kills. So the Roman infantry is crumbling, which means that the Scout Equites are going to be at risk. Yep, and the Scout Equites just routed, so all the Roman units routing. So able to get in behind them. And it looks like going to easily take our first town from the East Romans, but thus is the challenge of the Romans. The Sassanids start off in a somewhat strong position. The East Romans start off in a very challenging position. So, again, probably, and you see there was a stabbing animation with the mace. That is something that's really should have been taken care of. Again, not trying to just completely bash the crap out of the game, because clearly I enjoy it, but there are some small things like that are frustrating. So let's repair. Overall, so far, though, I felt like the game was worth my money. Is it worth my money here? I mean, it's your money. I'm showing you here what I can show you, and you kind of have to make that call for yourself. But I will do my best to show you what you need to see. Anyway, that's going to be it for this particular episode of the Sassanid campaign. I will be back with more soon. So we've managed to reach out and take a Roman province. And that's going to, again, further secure our food, which, as we complete these upgrades, means I'm going to be able to upgrade my buildings and start earning a lot of wealth from the buildings that we have. HeirofCarthage, signing off for now.